is going on, everybody? You already know it's Tuesday. It's 10 p.m. We are back. We had a couple weeks off. Mai was in the hospital. Joey was on vacation taking care of business down there with Mr. M's House of Travel down there. Joey, how you feeling, brother?
Feeling good. I'm feeling good. Great show to be back on. We had an action
Yeah.
packed UFC weekend. Um, Finally get to brag about Jake Paul taking a loss. So a lot of
Oh,
lot of good things in the combat sport world happened in the past couple
yeah,
weeks.
you know what, Joey? I wasn't even going to talk about that. I didn't even put a banner together about that one. But let's talk about that, Joey. Finally, this clown gets knocked out. Well, I don't want to say he didn't get knocked out, but he lost. Let's take the L, Joey. Let's take the L there. Okay.
Yeah.
What did you see about this, Joey? I'll let you go first. What did you see regarding this fight?
Um, a lot of those shots that he was able to land against non-boxers, the UFC guys,
Mm-hmm.
the overhand rights that he likes to land a lot, the wild looping rights that he landed.
Yes.
In fact, the right that knocked out Tyron Woodley in their second fight.
Mm-hmm.
Um, a seasoned boxer, not even seasoned because Tommy Fury isn't a
Yeah. Right. Right.
seasoned boxer, but a boxer who's been training his whole life
Mhm.
is able to evade and counter that strike pretty easily. And that was the difference in the fight that night was that overhand right that he constantly landed against Woodley, Askren, all these fighters who aren't professional
Silva. Yeah, I think
boxers.
he got Silva's one too, didn't he?
Silver, yeah, Silva too.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't able to land that here because I think there's actually some of Fury's best shots are actually when he was evading that punch and coming back with it. I think
Mm-hmm.
early in the first round he tried to hit him with one, and Fury was able to step back and hit him with a couple combinations that are pretty nice. I'm a little confused with that one judge saw giving it to Paul.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
didn't think it was that close of a fight
Me
outside
either.
of the knockdown. I think that was his only significant offense. And I'm still watching that fight back, still a little questionable about if that was truly a knockdown or more of a slip.
What do you
Um,
think? What do you think? Because I wanted to ask you about that because Joey, I think I'm on the same
Fury
fence
was
as you are
coming
here.
forward trying to throw a punch as he got hit. So I don't know if it was truly a knockdown. I mean, I get it. When your gloves touch the mat, it's considered a knockdown. But even Fury looked a little shocked, like we're gonna call that a knockdown. So, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it was a little head scratching, but
Exactly. Exactly. There's Bubba Watch. Bubba, what's going on, brother? Hey, Bubba. Tomorrow night, I know it's not the show, but tomorrow night, College Football Frenzy, we're doing your AFC talk tomorrow night for your Patriots out there, brother. So you got the idea, we got it for you. But thanks for tuning in, brother. Appreciate it. Let us know if you're a UFC fan, man. I know you
so you're
check into
doing
all the shows.
how's
What's
that
that?
working out? You're doing AFC and college football?
Yeah, we're not going to do college football tomorrow because it's all a combine. We did a draft last week, so we're just going to do. Since Bubba checked in last week during the show, he's a Patriots fan. When we did the draft, like a live little draft mock, so he gave us an idea. And well, let's just run it. So we're going to go AFC tomorrow. Patriots division, AFC East tomorrow. Yep. So if you want to hop on, Joey.
Are we gonna do a draft show, Paul?
Yeah, we're definitely going to do a live draft show this year. Have a little fun with that one too. Yeah. As long as there's no blockbuster trades with your damn Eagles again this year.
Yeah.
Kind of pissed me off live
You
last year,
think
but
getting off topic a little bit, you think Richardson has done enough in the combine to propel
I,
himself to one?
Joey, you've heard me say this. I think Richardson needed another year in college. Honestly, I really did.
He's only started one legit year, right?
That
Last
not
year.
even. Well, yeah, this was his only real year,
This
Joey.
is
I
his
mean,
only
really,
real year.
he only had 3 games. Not to get off topic, Joey, but really, he only had 3 games this year. The Tennessee game, okay, the what was it, the Bama game, and I believe week 1 he had 3 touchdowns. But Joey, to me, he
He
needs
had
another
he had some
year.
good numbers this year. He had
He
3,000
did.
yards, 700 rushing. Um,
He did.
but this was his only year. This was his only year he actually had a sample size of what he can do. And
But
I
my
think,
thing, Joey, is it's amazing what a draft can do for you. The combine can do for you.
yeah, but here's the thing, Paul. I think especially at quarterback, you
Mhm.
can't really fall in love with the combine. Like other positions, edge rusher,
Oh, of course.
linebacker, wide
Mhm.
receiver, you can fall in love with the combine stats because that will transition into the field a couple years down the line.
Mhm.
Um, we've seen it year in year out. Jamarcus Russell, Johnny Manziel, Zach Wilson. Just
Exactly.
because they come out here and they put up these great numbers at the combine doesn't mean they always transition into a good NFL quarterback.
Mhm.
Sometimes production on the field, wins and losses in college, at that position matters. If you're not a winner
Agree.
in college, if you're not putting up numbers in college, it's not like you can just flip a switch and you're automatically this great quarterback because you're your athleticism says it. Quarterback is in that position where the athleticism takes over. You need to have in between. And I'm not saying that he doesn't have it in between, but there's a reason that he only started 1 year. There's a reason. And I don't
Agree.
I just think that quarterback you can't fall in love with just the he has this wingspan and he ran this fast and he jumped
Agree.
this high. Because athleticism, look at Peyton Manning. He was far from the
Mhm.
most athletic guy, but he
Yep.
had the smarts and he knew how to read the defense, and that's what
There
matters.
was there was that one test called the Wonderlic test. I know it has nothing to do with really football. It's just like an IQ test
But a
based off the field.
transition.
But it does, Joey. The thing is, like what you said before we get back into the topic here, we'll read the comments. Check out Stacy on Friday nights, Big Blue Power Hour, talking all New York Giants. I definitely want to hear them this week. Barkley, franchise, Danny Jones, $35 million a
I
year.
think
Definitely want to hear about that one.
before we get your opinion on that, I just say that I think they overpaid a little bit, but I think they had to because they were on a time crunch
I believe
because
so.
they
Mhm.
were going to have to either pay Jones. I think the franchise for quarterback was 38 million.
Yeah,
They
was
were
it
going to
38?
pay
Okay.
they were going to have to pay him that regardless,
Mhm.
and then lose Barkley. So why not pay him that and keep Barkley? So I like what they did. I mean, they
They did. It was
overpaid
smart.
him.
That's why I said in the group chat. It was a very smart move. It was a cheap investment on Barkley for 1 year. He still had he can if I think it was what the non-exclusive where you can actually make sure you make top five money no matter what, even if you're a
You get
franchise,
him
it can still
10.
go up. But yeah, but I mean, we'll talk about that. But regarding what you said, Joey, just before we go back in here, the Wonderlic test is like a test, it shows your IQ level. But the thing is, when you're like Anthony Richardson, anybody can throw a ball in the combine, Joey. You're not even running 7-on-7, Joey. You're running man-on-man drills, not even man-on-man, one-on-one, quarterback, wide receiver. That's it. Deep
Yeah.
ball slants, that's all you're running. What about disguising defenses? How is he going to do that? We've already seen his
Now
tangibles
they did
in
say,
college.
Paul, that he did impress in the
Okay.
interview process.
Okay, so did Zach
Like the
Williams last
coaches
year,
were
Joey.
coaches were asking him to read defenses, and he was doing it pretty well and stuff. But
Hmm.
one of the NFL Network, and then this is the last thing I'm going to say about it, and then I'll let you finish it off.
Hmm.
One of the NFL Network analysts said something that was like made me be like, whoa, like that actually is interesting, but makes sense. He said, if you tell me right now that in 5 years Anthony Richardson will be the best quarterback in the NFL, I wouldn't be shocked. But then he said, but at the same time, if you told me Anthony Richardson is the best tight end in the NFL in 5 years, I also wouldn't be shocked. He said he
Um,
has the athleticism
yeah.
to be successful in the NFL. Whether or not that's quarterback is still up to be debated. But like a Logan Thomas, you know, he didn't have what it takes to be an NFL quarterback, but the athleticism was off the charts. So they found a spot for him to play. Terrell Pryor didn't have
Yes.
didn't have it all together to play quarterback in the NFL, but the athleticism was off the charts. You find a way to get these guys on the field. So I,
Yeah.
I definitely think
Exactly.
he has a spot in the NFL, and
Hmm.
I hope it's quarterback because I mean, damn, this dude is impressive. We're talking about bigger than Cam Newton, faster than
Yes.
Cam Newton.
Yes.
I think he's actually faster than Vic on the 40 time or close
Oh
to
my
Vic.
God. Really?
Like he tested higher than RG3 did. And RG3 was the most athletic quarterback tested at the
Yeah.
combine.
Yeah.
So it's definitely has the traits. I just think we put too much stock sometimes in the combine.
Yeah, I agree 100%, Joe. Before we jump, last thing to say about it is you're right. The combine, it's a make or break one day for you. Basically, is what it can do for you. I like how you said Terrell Pryor. He went to Jeanette High School, which is like through an hour and a half away from me. I remember watching him in high school, Joe. He beat the prep. He single handedly beat the prep. Then he goes to Ohio State. My God, the best thing since sliced bread. Possible number one draft pick goes to the NFL. Couldn't play QB. Ended
Well,
up
no,
playing wide
remember
receiver.
Paul. Remember, he was the idiot who was signing footballs before it was legal.
Yes,
He
yes.
became
Hmm.
disqualified, and he
Hmm.
had to do the supplemental draft. If you remember that.
Oh, I didn't remember that, Joey. I didn't remember that. Really?
Remember,
Wow.
he wasn't in the NFL draft because of all that
Okay.
stuff that happened. So he got disqualified at a time where it was too late to enter the regular draft. So
Okay.
he was
Okay.
entered the supplemental draft. And remember, the Browns took him in the supplemental draft, like the fourth round.
Who was the quarterback when they drafted him? Real quick, Joey. When they drafted Terrell
Was
Pryor, who
that
was the quarterback?
Whedon?
Was that Brandon Weeden? Because if you lose your job to Brandon Weeden, Joey, there's an issue. There's an issue.
Well, no, Whedon lost his job to Pryor, I think.
Oh, so Pryor did start.
I think they
I don't think he
originally.
did, Joey. I don't think he ever started. Honestly, I think well, he started maybe 1 or 2 games, but then he was benched right after that. I think.
No, it was Oakland. He went to Oakland first.
Oh, he did. Oh my God. Why am I okay? Because I thought the biggest bust would be there would be Jamarcus Russell, probably in NFL history, most likely. But
So he went to
I think
Oakland first. I
okay.
forgot about that. I don't
I
know
thought it was
why I thought
Cleveland.
what's the name drafted him.
Okay, I thought it was straight Cleveland.
I need to
Okay.
pull up Oakland's roster real quick.
Real quick, Joe, before you do that, I'm going to read a comment. Bubba says, I'm not really a fan of the UFC or boxing, but I'm a Muhammad Ali fan. It's basic, but he went a lot to many people. You're exactly right. I mean, my God, Muhammad Ali, if you don't even know boxing, you just know the name Muhammad Ali. He's an icon in the game, man. So many people look up to him. Definitely. Definitely. All right, Joey. Well, let's get, while you're
Yeah.
looking that up
So
real quick, let's get it. Go ahead.
that was Carson Palmer that year.
Oh, okay. Then that's understood. Wait a minute. Wait. Really? Okay, okay,
He
okay.
didn't start. So
Okay, so that's understandable.
Oakland took him as a piece to develop.
Okay,
And
okay.
then
Then he went
he
to,
ended
okay,
up
all
he
right.
didn't actually start until 2013.
Okay, all right.
And it wasn't too good. 7 touchdowns, 11 interceptions.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of bad. I mean, in high school, I mean, college, he lit it up at Ohio State, you know.
Yeah.
Real quick, did Big Mike show you that intro I made for him? I didn't get a chance to look at it, Bubba. He said everybody said it was really cool. Listen, make one for all of us, man. Have fun with it. We'll put you on here. We'll put you on the screen. Let us know, man. Everybody said it was hype, so make one for all of us. We appreciate it, brother. Definitely. All right, Joey, let's get back into this, man. Let's get
Yeah.
back into UFC 285 here. Joey, we've been made for this card here for a while. I was in a hospital. You were down at Disney, so we text back and forth about this card. We couldn't wait for this card, Joey. But there was one person by the name of Bo Nickel, Joey. I didn't watch this guy at all, Joey. Regarding before this fight here, Joey. I had to stand up, and I got to give you credit for this guy, Joey. This dude is freaking nasty.
If you remember, Paul, I don't know if you remember back to this. The first time we ever had Trayshawn on our show,
Mm-hmm.
I was watching the Dana White Contender Series, and as we were going live, I was like, "This guy's going to be special," and
I
I was
remember you did
telling
say
you
that.
about
Yeah,
him. I
yeah.
was telling you about him while we were prepping for Trayshawn's show that first time.
You did. Yeah, I remember
So,
now.
like, I've been on the Tight Train for a while. I mean, he, I don't know. It's just like he's just so different.
Okay.
Like he's a collegiate monster. Like just an all around like animal in amateur wrestling. But
Yeah.
he doesn't always rely on that. And I mean, I know it's a very small sample size. I'm talking about a guy who's only had 4 fights
Mm-hmm.
total in pro, and he's already opening a pay-per-view card, which is crazy to say.
Yes.
But
Yes.
he wins his fights. He's 4 fights, 3 by submission, 1 by knockout. And most of
Mm-hmm.
those times he's not relying on just shooting and taking you down and ground and pound you. Like that's not him. And you would expect someone like that to
Exactly. Being
just
a collegiate wrestler. Exactly. Right.
bell rings, he's shooting for everything, just
Mm-hmm.
trying to control you on the ground and eke out a win. That's not him. He starts on the feet, he throws. He's got some pretty good stand up for a guy who's only been fighting for less than a year almost, or a little over a year at this point.
Mm-hmm.
He's so far along, which is so crazy to say. It's like someone better catch him now and put some doubt in this man's head now, because as he gets better and better and keeps putting wins together, he's going to
Mm-hmm.
become almost unbeatable. When he says championship within a year,
I was
it's
going to say that,
not
Joey. Yeah.
it's not unreasonable to think, just because like if he needs to rely on that, his wrestling is so good that if just say he's fighting someone who is tagging him up on the feet, he can easily just shoot, take you
Exactly.
down, and control you if he needs to be. But he hasn't got to that point yet, which is a little crazy to say.
And that's exactly I love your point, what you just said, Joey, right there. Regarding, Bo there. He has stand up game, Joey. And there's always that fallback where you can take it to the ground. I don't recall what fight it was during this UFC card, Joey, where Rogan actually said, wow, you can't beat a wrestler. You cannot beat a wrestler in a five round decision match. He'll take it to the ground. He'll control you, and that's the thing Bo can do. He hasn't had
Yeah.
to really use that yet, but that's in his back pocket. That's the ace of spades, Joey. Where if he's in trouble, he can take you
Yep.
to the mat. He can shoot, take you, great ground control, and win the match in the ground on decision. He can definitely do that. But Joey, I remember when I don't recall the exact words, but you said within a year. I love how that confidence is with him. He says, I'm going to be the best pound per pound fighter when it's all said and done. That to
Yeah.
me, Joey, is confidence. In your first pay per view, confidence, Joey. Confidence.
Yeah.
I mean, how did the new rankings come up yet, Joey? Because where did he move up yet? How far did he move up?
He's
Because I don't
not
have the
he's not
rankings
in
in
the
front of me.
rankings yet.
He should move up, Joey. He's going to move up fast. I think he's a
Yeah.
favorite of the crowd. I think he's going to be there. And just like you said, not headline a UFC card, your first one, but open the card on a pay per view. I mean, with the return of Jon Jones, let alone Joey, to be named on that card, that tells you something. What Rogan and Dana White
Yeah.
sees about him. So, man, I tell you, Joe, this. I mean, I gotta start watching this guy because I remember you did say that when we had Trayshawn Wiggins on the show when we were prepping for it, talking backstage, and I remember you messaged me and talked to me about that. And this dude is legit, man. I'm telling you, this guy's nasty. But
Yeah,
now,
he's
Joey,
good.
I had to walk my dog for the next fight, so we're not going to talk about that one, okay? But the next one I
Okay.
want to talk about right here, Joey. I can't say his first name here, but I'm just going to call him what I call him, the Boogeyman, okay? Joey, 17-0, knockouts, submissions. The guy has never gone decision in his life, Joey. The Boogeyman is for real, Joey. He scares the shit out of me.
Yeah, he's an animal. And just to get this out of the way to start, um, Neil came in a little heavy.
He
There were
did.
some questions about what was going on with him and stuff like that. And I never want to accuse. I never want to
Okay.
point fingers or say anything like that. But if you're fighting a guy who's got world class wrestling and grappling,
Mm-hmm.
and you know that you almost stand next to no chance with defending that, why wouldn't you come in a little bit heavier to
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
uh to
Yes.
uh be able to kind of throw your weight around a little more to stop those takedowns? I know people are saying, well, 4 pounds isn't a lot. Sure, it's not a lot, but
Mm.
when you have to rehydrate,
Exactly.
when you have to rehydrate, that 4 extra pounds could add 10 pounds in the long run. So it's not a lot on the scale, sure, but
Mhm.
4 pounds is a lot. And let's get this out of the way too. They didn't give this dude a trash can.
Yeah.
Jeff
Right.
Neal has some of the best stand up
Stand up. Mm-hmm.
in the division. And you've seen that on Saturday night. Jeff Neal was landing, and Jeff Neal was landing some good shots, and Boogeyman just kept walking right on through. But
Mm-hmm.
Jeff Neal's hands, and I don't think this should hurt too much Neal in the ranking, just because everyone's been saying that this dude is going to be special, and you saw Saturday night why. But
Yes.
it's funny because remember Pulp Fiction when the guy chokes out the big black guy gets chokes out
Right.
the other
Right.
guy
Right. Right.
standing up.
Mm-hmm.
Jeff Neal actually put a tweet up of that picture and said, this man out here making me look like this or in the fight, and it just had me cracking
Oh
up.
wow! I didn't even
Yeah,
see
but
that. Holy shit!
like this
Um,
fight was
mm,
was entertaining from start to finish. It was an incredible fight. A lot
mm,
of back and forth. There were a couple of times where you thought Neil had him rocked, and the dude just kept walking through.
mm.
But it was a very impressive fight overall, I thought, and I'm interested to see how far he moves up the rankings.
Yeah, I mean, just like you said, Joe Neil was not a slouch. I mean, his hand game is insane too, and I want to give him credit, but I want to give credit to the Boogeyman because Neil was laying on his chin a lot that fight, and it was just the Boogeyman was just coming and coming and getting hit, and it felt like there was nothing happening. Joey, his jaw is like rock steel. It's not a glass jaw. We've seen it, and like I said, Joey, this guy is 18-0, 17-0, all
So this
submissions,
jumped
all
him up
knockouts.
all to 6.
Okay, he was what 10, right? He was 10,
10.
right?
He went up three
Okay, ten
spots
to
to
six.
6.
I think
And
that's under.
Neil
I think
fell
that's under,
back
Joey.
1.
Oh,
Neil only
I
fell
can agree
back
with the
1.
Neil. Okay, I can agree with the Neil. Okay, I can agree with that. But I think Boogeyman should have jumped up a little bit higher, Joey. I really
Here's
do.
the crazy thing, Paul. I mean, you have to fall back 1 if the other guy's going to jump you.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm a little shocked that it's only 1, considering Neil came in overweight. But I
Okay.
like it because it was such an entertaining fight. You look who's ahead of him now in the rankings.
I think he
Gilbert
goes right behind Shemai. I think he goes right behind Shemai, Joey.
Gilbert Burns. I'm not sure if he has a fight scheduled.
Yeah, he has Masvidal on April 8th.
He does. Okay,
Yep.
so
Mm-hmm.
he's off limits, which I don't really like
Mm-hmm.
that fight because I think Burns takes it wherever he wants it. Then you got Bilal Muhammad, who is kind of at this point, I think, saying he's adamant, but saying he's waiting. Which okay, he's waiting for a title shot.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'd love to see him fight Colby. And then you got Shemaiva, which I would love to see them two fight. I think they
Oh
match
my
up
God,
perfectly.
that would be insane, Joey. I don't know what I would do with that fight. Seriously.
You got Colby, which I'm not sure what's going on with Colby. I think that'd be another good fight just because Colby's wrestling is so good.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have Usman and Edwards who are them fighting each other. So I mean, there's
You
plenty
know,
of
Joey, not to cut-
intrigue.
I think he gets the loser of Usman Edwards. I really do.
Well, I'd rather see him fight Jemaiva or
I would no, I
Bilal.
would too. I would too. I would love to see that fight first, but I'm just saying I think he gets the loser because I don't think Chimaev is going to take that fight with him. I think everybody's ducking Boogeyman right now. I really do, Joey. I
I
really
don't
do.
know if Shemaiva's ducking.
I think he might take it, but Joey, everybody else would not take this fight. This dude is unsung, you know. And Joey, real quick, I want to get into a question here. I want to let you answer this one first. Bubba says, since he's not really a big UFC fighter fan out there, who do you think is a fighter that I should focus on if I want to watch the UFC?
Like
What division? First, let me. What division are you looking at? Are you looking at like heavyweight, lightweight? What are you into, Bubba? But Joey, what would you say?
I would say like just maybe not even just a fighter, just like a fight or a division overall. Um, Next pay per view is definitely a great fight to watch.
It
Edwards
is.
versus Usman. I would also say the welterweight, the lightweight division, the 155 division, that top 4 or 5 is absolutely stacked.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good division to watch. Also, it's interesting to see how
Agree.
it's going to play out. But right now, the UFC is kind of on fire across the board.
He says whatever the most exciting one is. Joey, you just named it right there. Top to bottom division is stacked.
Yeah, 155. But if you
Mm-hmm.
want to see an exciting fight, that Usman Edwards rematch is going to be pretty exciting. And then
Wait, Joey, time
also,
out, time out. You think that's going to be exciting?
I think Usman goes in and tries to get the finish.
I'm talking about Edwards here. Do you think Edwards? You know what, Joey? I'm going to look at it like the Nunez. I'm going to look at that fight, Joey, because I think Usman just got. He just got. It was his day. It was Edwards' day. You know, the kick hurt around the world, Joey. You
Yeah,
know, 4 seconds around. I think Usman comes out and it's going to look like a Jon Jones. Not to jump forward or anything, but I think it's going to be Usman taking it to him right away. It's not even. It's not even going to go 3 rounds, Joey. I
yeah. But
really. I'm excited.
if you remember, Edwards in that second fight had a pretty good time of defending the takedowns.
He
I
did. He
mean,
did.
Usman was
Well,
still able to get takedowns, but it wasn't as
that was the first time Usman's ever been down, correct?
yeah. But
Exactly.
I'm saying from Edwards' standpoint, Edwards held his own. I mean, Edwards got his ass beat. Don't get me wrong,
Mm-hmm.
but he did a good job of defending the takedowns, a lot better than I expected. I
Agree.
mean,
I agree.
I think Usman wins this fight, but I don't expect it to be a cakewalk. Because also,
Hmm.
I think that headshot is going to creep into Usman's head a lot during this fight.
Oh, I don't what that kick hurt around the world.
Because here's the thing: we have to see how this is his first loss. You never
You're
know
right.
the
You're
fighter
right.
you truly are until you come back from that first loss. So
Agree. Agree. 100%. Agree. 100%. Real quick before we get into some of the comments here, Linda, thank you for checking in. Hon, how you doing? Great. Thank you for checking in. There's Ken Fry. You can check him out every Saturday night. Vegas sports scene. Really want to listen to them this week because they're Raiders. You know, he's gone. Derek Carr. We knew he was gone, but now he's a Saint. So can't wait to see him Saturday night, 10 p.m. out of the box here. Also, you can check him out every other Wednesday. Next Wednesday, you'll check him out on the Back Cave, talking all MLB, especially New York Mets. Um, Joey, who's this lady here? This beautiful lady here. Alexis Wood. Hi guys, glad to see you, Paul. Hope you're feeling better. Thank you. I definitely am. It was a big scare. I thank you, guys, for checking in on me. Greatly appreciate it. I'm doing well. Just got to eat better and take a little better self. I don't know what you want to
yeah,
call it, but yeah, just take care of myself a little bit better. So I got to learn how to eat. I mean, eat better, eat properly now. My eating habits are totally different. I can't have my favorite thing anymore, rice. Can't have that. Can't have bread. Can't have pasta.
So that's
So,
so funny, Paul, because you and her
oh,
had the same reaction when I told her that. Like Katie was telling us that you told the doctor, but I'm Asian. So I
Joe,
told so I told Lexus the doctor told me he can't have rice anymore, and she said, "But he's Asian." Like
Joe, I'll tell you what happened. Okay, I didn't have my phone. You guys, like she had my phone, so she wouldn't let me hold my phone because number one, I'm on DraftKings or FanDuel, and I'm trying to watch sports. Number one, okay, so I'm in there, and after the surgery, I ended up in ICU. They had a tube down me pumping my stomach for. I was like, my colon exploded. So toxins were going through my body, so they pumped my body 100%. But then after I was in ICU, I came out of the surgery. They cut 3 inches of my colon, put a little tube down there to make me go to the bathroom, whatever. It's totally fine. But the doctor comes in and he's like, Paul, how you doing? I'm like, I guess I'm okay. I'm kind of hungry. He's like, well, we're on a restriction. We're on a liquid diet for the first couple of days. And I'm like, all right, I can deal with that. I deal with it for the whole week. But he's like, now, some things you can't eat. And he laid in, he didn't get to the rice first, Joey. He's
yeah.
like, number one, you can't eat a lot of pasta. You can have very small, like egg noodles. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. I can deal with that. I don't have to eat that. And he's like, bread. I was like, I've been trying to cut out a lot of bread. He's like, now rice. I looked at him. I was like, this is exactly what I did, Joe. And I was like this. I was like, rice. He goes, yeah. I was like, do you see these eyes? And he goes, what do you mean? I was like, I'm Asian, bro. Like, I have to have rice with every meal. And
Yeah.
he's, well, you can eat a little bit of it, but how much do you eat? I was like, a whole bowl? And he's like, that ain't going to happen. And I'm like, okay, whatever.
Like the grain? Is it that what it is, or the?
Starchy. And I even clean
Yeah.
my when I get my rice, I only use nishiki rice, this Japanese rice, and I clean it like 5 or 6 times so the water comes out perfectly clear. But he was like, even if you do that, you're still going to catch a lot of starch, which creates a problem in your colon. So, yeah, that was it, Joey. Plus, no sports in the hospital, bro. That was, oh, man, I don't know how I
You got a
survived.
good question here, Paul.
What's that? What we got here? Oh, that is a hard question for me, Joey. Oh, man. You know what? Oh, man.
See, I could say favorite foods, just because I think I gotta find something else that I like.
Yeah, I'm leaning toward that. I mean, I can, man, see the rice. My two things are
Like I
rice
love,
and
like
chicken
for
parm.
example, I love chicken parm is one of my favorites.
Yes,
Cheeseburgers
yes.
and pizza. I could
hmm
easily give up chicken parm
I
to
couldn't. I
be
don't
able
think
to
I.
watch, be able to watch football.
I don't know, Joey. I mean, is anybody going to watch me sneak this when nobody's watching? Because I don't know, Joey. You know me, man. I got 24/7 sports on constant. We got every network in the world.
Yeah, you
So,
remember growing up, you and my
uh,
dad like could
Joey, don't lie. You're the pickiest eater I've ever met in my life.
So this isn't a lie. So we're in Disney. Um, so
Get up. So, how was Disney, Joe? How was Disney, man?
so for people who don't know, I'm a Disney travel agent.
Yes.
And Disney actually paid for me to. There it is.
Huh?
Disney actually paid for me because I'm a travel agent, part of a gold earmarked company. Disney paid for me and one of my bosses to go down for 2 nights, 3 days to do some training, to learn about some new programs coming and new features coming to Disney. So Disney had me came out there, stay at Allen Kingdom Lodge and everything like that, whole 9 yards, tour some hotels. It was a really cool experience. But the first night, me and my boss we ate at a buffet. So Disney buffet, we're like, okay, there's plenty of food there. I paid $72.
Wait a minute. What? Stop. Time out. Joey, you said 7-2.
$72 because it was a character dining, and that was tax, tip, fees, everything included. $72, and I ate pick and peel shrimp, mac and cheese, and chicken fingers for $72.
Okay, then I see. I know you for over 25 years, Joey. I know one thing. There was not crab legs there, was there?
There was not. There was not.
I know you.
Listen,
Oh, man.
we went to Vegas, me and Leck, a couple years ago for a McGregor fight, and we literally walked the entire strip and went into every single hotel looking at the buffets because I was like, I need a buffet with crab legs, and I found it at the one hotel,
Oh,
I
my
think it was the
God.
Cosmopolitan. They
Wow.
had a buffet. It was $90 a person,
What?
but Paul, they had 7 different styles of crab legs.
Oh my god, that's heaven, dude.
They
That is
had
heaven.
king crab legs, Alaskan crab legs, Dungeness crab legs. They had like German crab legs. I didn't even know it was a thing.
Alexis, it's okay. Joe, when Joe and I get together, it's off the rails no matter what happens. We'll probably talk about a movie in a minute. But Joey, not to get off subject, but real quick, there's Dave Yarnell. You can check him out every other Wednesday night with me, 215 Boys Cowboy fan. Joey, Bubba says Disneyland or Disney World. Which one do you?
So I do so I do travel agents for all Disney products. Disney
Okay.
World, Disneyland, Disney Cruises. In fact, I have a client who's getting ready to finish up a Disney cruise right now as we speak. They actually
Ooh,
boarded the cruise on Saturday. They boarded the cruise in San Diego, which is a pretty
wow.
cool
Okay.
experience. But yeah, I do it all. Disney Hawaii, Disney there's this one thing I'm looking into doing, Paul. It's
Oh, he went to Disney World. Disney
which
World,
one did I?
Bubba.
I went to Disney World. The training that I did was at the Beach and Yacht Club in Disney World, and then we actually were able to tour 4 other hotels. So we toured Polynesian,
That's
Grand
nice.
Floridian. Um, why am I just skipping my head now? I'm gonna think of it another. It was Grand
You're probably
Floridian.
thinking about the crab legs that you didn't get.
Yeah, but it was incredible. But yeah, it was really nice. But
Well, Joey,
oh,
real quick
I
before
just found
you.
out this one thing I got to tell you about it before
Uh oh,
before I forget it. So there's these thing called Destination by Disney, right? There's
destination.
this one that I want to do so bad. It looks incredible. So it's 8 days in California.
Ooh,
It's a Jim Henson experience.
wasn't it
You
the
get
Muppet guy?
Yeah, you get to tour the original Muppet Studio.
Joey, I'm not doing that.
So I'm a Muppet fan, so this would be cool to me. You get to tour the original Muppet Studio. You get to go to his home, his actual home, see his home where he created the Muppets, he created Sesame Street, everything. You get to go to Disney World and watch them like create the Muppets. Uh, you get to go to a VIP tour, everything like it's the whole 9 yards. So I'm looking into that.
Yeah, that's you. Let me know how that goes, Joey, because
It's
uh,
5,000 for 8 days, and everything's included. All your meals, all your hotel, all your park tickets, and all your VIP tours.
I don't know if the boss over there is a Muppet fan, but I don't think that's going to fly by her, Joey. That's $5 grand for 8 days, brother.
Oh, we're all Muppet fans here,
Oh, then she's going because she's the boss, so
especially
she's going to
Paisley.
go. Oh, I believe, yeah, Paisley would definitely love that. But Joe, I just lost my train of thought real quick. But Joey,
We have
real quick
another
before we get
comment
back to
here.
what's that?
Thank you for checking in with us
Hey,
today.
there's Linda. I mean, there's Linda first. Now Eileen checking in. Eileen, how you doing, hon? Thanks for checking in. And I tell you, Eileen retweets everything we have on Twitter, Joey. You know, I appreciate it so much. She does an awesome job out there. Real quick, Joey.
Yeah, so
Oh, I'm sorry, took it off.
that actually opens on April 3rd. So it's funny. So leading up to the training, they were telling us we got a big surprise for you. Big surprise.
Joey, you're muted, Joey. Fix your mic. There?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we got a big surprise for you. We got a big surprise for you. Me and my boss was like, "Oh, they're gonna let us ride the Tron ride." We get there, the surprise was a water bottle in the bag. They didn't tell us that Tron. I was so disappointed.
A water bottle in the bag, huh?
So I don't know, Bubba, how size wise you are, um, but Tron, from what I've read and what I've saw, it's not too big people friendly. If you have large calves, a lot of
Well,
people were being turned away. So it's not the belly or the gut area, it's the calves. If you have big calves, there's a bar that actually comes down to lock your legs into place because
what?
you're actually sitting on the ride like a motorcycle.
Oh, okay, okay. So you're like
So
forward, like a little
there's these
crotch
bars
rocket.
that come down to lock your
Okay.
legs into place so you don't fall off, and they have to be able to touch the back of your legs to be the back of your knees to be able to lock you in. So if they can't get over your calves, you don't get on the ride.
Joey, I want to ask you real quick before we get back into UFC that when we get together, Joey, we go off the rails. We know that 25 years we know each other, and there's nothing we can't talk about. But I want to ask you something, Joey. You know, since you're the agent down there, you know, because I'm going to hit you up, Joey. I got to be real quiet. I know Katie doesn't watch sports, but I proposed to Katie this year. We're going to get married this year, and I'm thinking about going to Disney. So I'm going to talk to you about that. You know, what's
Yeah,
the
for
best option?
sure.
But that's why I had to whisper. She walks in and out of here, but.
Yeah.
Joey, I want to ask you. This might Bubba's 6'4", Joey, but he's talking about the cat. He's a big dude, man. Damn,
6'4",
Bubba.
you might have a problem with fitting your legs in, but from what I
Mhm.
heard, they do have a regular car you can sit in. So unfortunately, you don't get that experience of like riding the Tron
Okay.
bike, but you would still be able to ride the roller
All
coaster.
right. That's what I wanted to ask you, Joey. Now, I've lost a lot of weight. I've lost like 50 pounds in 5 months here. So I'm down to like 235 right now, roughly. Still losing more. But my thing is, Joey, I went to Six Flags before and I rode on, I think it was a Superman ride, the little hanging one at Six Flags. And I spent like 3.5 hours going in line, Joey, and I was too fucking fat to get on the ride. That is the most embarrassing thing in the world
Oh,
where
it is.
you try to get on there and the lady's
So
like,
I have a funny story about that, Paul.
and Joey, that walk of shame. Now,
Yes.
does Disney have one of those things, Joey, where you
I'm
can
trying
actually
to
before
think.
you go on the ride and you can sit in the thing and like, okay, I can fit in this because
So some of the rides
oh,
they do. They for some there's only, as I can think of right now, two rides where you might um listen, if you crunch your legs up, you should be able to fit. It's more if you the calves, but I think you should be
mhm,
able to not be too bad. But if you go on YouTube, Bubba, there is videos that show you how to fit for tall people. So there is ways people
that's
have done
cool.
it. The
That's
tallest
cool.
person I saw so far was 6'3". So you're close,
Well,
but you might be able to. But Paul, there's one ride. It's the Avatar ride, where
mm,
you're like you're it's like you're riding on a banshee, like
mhm,
those dragon creatures that they have in Avatar.
right.
That is kind of tight, but I'm bigger than you and I fit.
Okay. All right.
There isn't a ride in Disney where I can't fit. I'm thinking right now, I haven't had a ride yet where I can't fit. There's definitely some rides where I'm tight,
Mhm.
but I haven't had a ride yet that I haven't fit on.
Okay. Okay.
But the funny story about that is, so Cake Boss?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So I went to Sesame Place. It was the opening of Oscar's Wacky Taxi. Hmm. So for it's number. So here's the thing though, it's 1 and 3 all time. Avatar 1 is number one selling movie ever.
Yeah.
Avatar 2 is now number three selling movie ever.
What? Let me
So
guess. Titanic's number two now.
no, Titanic's number four.
What's two?
Avengers.
What? Really?
Yeah, yeah,
Wow.
yeah. But I can't get into the. I love the Avatar scenery at Disney World, but I can't get into the movies. They're just too damn long. It's hard to keep my
Yeah,
attention.
I started watching one of we get all the movies before they come out, and I was watching it, and I sat like 20 minutes of the movie, and I'm like looking at my phone. I was like, how long is this movie? 3 hours plus? I'm like, you
Yeah,
gotta be kidding me.
yeah. It's hard to get into it. But getting back to the story, so I'm at Sesame. The brand new Oscar's Wacky Taxi opens,
Where's the
and
Sesame Place?
Sesame, and
Okay.
I'm first in line, right? So Cake Boss is there. He made an Oscar the Grouch. Oscar. It's the hype around it. It's you think about it. The first Avatar that came out,
Wasn't that like the
it
really first IMAX 3D movie or whatever the hell it
it
was?
reinvented 3D movies at the theater. It
Yeah, yeah.
reinvented, so everyone wanted to see it, and it was visually stunning. It was literally visually like it was an impressive movie during its time to come out. And if
It
you
was.
remember, think about when that movie came out. That movie came out right after the big scare of the original swine flu. So people stayed in the house
Oh,
for a little while. Remember when that first came out? People were afraid to
yeah,
leave their
yeah.
house and stuff. So that was another thing that was in its favor. It was like
I agree.
everyone getting back to the theaters again with everyone.
Mhm.
So I remember seeing that movie in the theaters right when swine flu ended. Someone was coughing, and this group said, "Stop coughing! Get out of the movie theater! Don't you ever hear of swine flu?" I still remember that to this day. But
Oh my
getting
god.
back to the ride, I was on the ride, and Cake Boss made a giant life size Oscar the Grouch cake for the ride. So he wanted to ride it too. I'm literally sitting in front of him on the
Really?
ride. On the ride, I'm on the roller coaster with him, and they tell me I'm too big. I
What?
get kicked off the very first roller coaster ever at Oscar, and the Cake Boss is watching me tell this fat guy he's too big for the ride. It was one of the most embarrassing things that ever happened to me.
And Sesame Place too.
Yeah,
That's craziness. Wow. Yeah, the only ride I never was Joe. You remember me after my surgery? I ballooned up to like 330. When I had to learn how to walk and everything again. So, man, I remember that I was like 330, couldn't ride Superman. I was pissed off, man,
yeah.
pissed off. A pretty good 3 hour movie. You guys should Cloud Atlas. I've never seen that. Never even heard of that one.
I've never even heard that either.
We'll look into that. We'll look into that. But Joey, let's get back into this. Oh, real quick, John, I want to tell you something. How we talk about crab legs. Funny story. I remember your family, my family. We used to go to the buffet, and we used to have whoever was not eating had to go up and hawk the
Stand
crab
in line.
legs. Like actually, like form a circle around the crab legs. Like when the Chinese lady brought them out, it was like one of these. Nope, get off. They're ours. And it was like 4 or 5 plates coming to our table. I remember that. Oh my god!
It's funny. We went to Virginia. Went to Virginia over the summer, and was it Virginia?
Definitely
Yeah,
well.
it was Virginia, and there was this crab place. They had like all you can eat crab buffet. They actually had their workers working the crab buffet, so that you can only take so many at a time and then come back.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah.
Dude, I got to get a whole plate. Like I got to get the whole plate. Like 2 fists that plate. Like that's what I got to do. I'm paying my money. I got to get my crab legs. 100%.
Yeah, we were there for hours.
Yeah. But Joey, let's get back into it here. What people came here for. Let's end this with this fight here, Joey. I mean, Joey, I think he should. I really want to see him fight Chimaev. I really want to see that. I think that's
agree.
what we want to see. But I don't think he's gonna. I don't think it's gonna happen because I think he's gonna end up fighting the loser of Usman. If I'd rather see. I don't think he. I really want to see him fight Usman.
See, I don't think they give the loser because here's the thing. The odds are is that I'm trying to look up the ranking, but the odds are if if Usman loses, just say right, which I don't think happens. But if Usman loses, do you really want to run the risk of giving that animal to Usman and then Usman somehow losing to him too and losing 3 in a row?
You're right, and he's like one of the faces of the UFC. You're right about that.
And then if Edwards loses, he's honestly, if it's a close fight again, they probably want to do a rematch.
The trilogy?
Yeah, the 4.
Oh, that's right. It's 4. You're right. You're right. So this is when we talked about this. What is this called? The quadrilogy? Yeah. Bubba, listen, you're a smart guy out there. The first match is a regular match. The second one is a rematch. The third one's a trilogy. If you and I fight 4 times, what the hell is it called? A quadrilogy? Quad is 5, right? Quad is 4.
Yeah, 4.
We don't even know what the hell it's called. Real quick, Bubba says it was Tom Hanks, Halle Berry, Hugo Weaving, and a bunch of other people. Oh, if it's Halle Berry, I'll watch that. Holy crap. Definitely talk about that. Yeah. He says enough movie talk. All right. Joey, so do you think how far do you think Boogeyman can go, Joey, honestly?
I think
17-0, Joey. 17-0. Nobody can stop this dude, Joey. Ground, stand up. He has it all, Joey. He has it all.
I think he could be champion. I
do too. I do too. All right, he says quadrilogy or something. See, I think that's right. Quadrilogy. Yeah. But Joey, wasn't there a fight that was 5 times? Has there one been yet? Has there one been a fight that's 5 times?
I don't think so.
Okay. Hopefully we don't ever get that. But yeah, I think he could be champion too, Joey. Like the Boogeyman, I love this guy. And just the way, when you look at this guy, Joey, like my goal in life is to actually wear that fucking hat that he has. That's my goal, yeah. Joey. I went on eBay, Joey, and I looked for one, and I can't find it, Joey. I want one so bad. If I get one, I'm going to wear it on every show we have. I'm serious. What is that called? What is that actually called? What would that be called?
I have no idea. I know what you're talking about.
What kind of animal is it? Is it? I don't even know what kind of animal it is. Honestly.
I don't even know.
But I got to get one. All right, Bubba says trilogy, but replace the tribe with quad. Okay, so we're quadrilogy. Okay, I got that. There's Big Mike. You can check him out tomorrow night. I'm sorry, not tomorrow night. Thursday night, 8 p.m.
Is he on the show with you tomorrow night?
Yes, he is actually on the show tomorrow night. We'll be talking AFC. Bubba, there you go. You were talking AFC, your squad this week, 8 p.m., so check it out. But let's move on, Joey. Let's move on to this fight right here, Joey. Joey. As a betting man, I had a 12-game parlay. You know how you get that cash out, Joey, on FanDuel and DraftKings, and it says, oh, this is a guaranteed lock. They're going to pay your money. I didn't cash out, Joey. This fight, I was like, okay, we won this fight. Shevchenko is going to the round. We got this locked up. Joey, Grasso put a tan line on the Bullet's face, Joey.
If we're being honest, though, her last 2 fights, she's looked very pedestrian.
Yes.
Her
Yes.
last two fights have looked very beatable, and we talk about it a lot, a lot,
Yes.
especially the Ronda Rousey effect and stuff like that.
Hmm.
That you see this sometimes in the MMA world where the the one fighter is so good, especially in the women's division more than ever.
Yes.
One fighter is so good that she kind of runs rampant on the division, and the division finally catches up to her, and you're like, "Holy crap! How did
Agree.
this happen?" You've
Agree.
seen it with Ronda, you've seen it with Nunez, you're seeing it now with Valentina. It's just it happens, and I think this is what's happening here. Is I think the top of the division is finally caught up to her. I still think Valentina is a little bit better. She got caught. It happens. You know, MMA is the hardest sport to stay on top of for
Hmm.
that long, just because you can get caught in a split second and it's over. But this was a hell of a fight. You're obviously gonna get a rematch. You're not champion for that long and not getting a rematch. You're definitely
Exactly.
gonna get a rematch, but it'll be
Exactly.
interesting to see. You know, it's been so long since she's lost that
But
it's just
exactly what you
shocking.
said, Joey. Her last two fights, which we talked about on the last cards we've done with her, she's done enough to win, Joey. She hasn't satisfied me to where, wow, if I didn't know she was a champ, she wins. But
So we backed off of the Nunez talk. Remember, because for a while there we were
yes,
begging before the Pena fight and before all these last two fights, we were begging that we got a Nunez uh, Valentina match. We thought they were just the two cream of the crop, which I still think they are,
but Joey,
but
I think that's a one sided fight. Real quick, I really do.
now I do. Now I
Yeah,
do.
exactly. Hmm.
I think Nunez is too big. I think Nunez is too
Yes.
powerful.
Hmm.
At this point, I just think it's not the fight that we thought it would be, and I don't know if it's because Valentina is. I think she's 35, 36. I don't know if she's
She's 35.
taking
Yeah, I think she's 35 years
losing
old.
a step. I don't know if I mean Father Time always wins. I don't know. We don't talk
But
about
Joey, real quick,
rules.
not to cut you off, but she does so much training, Joey, outside of different regions. Like she trained in Japan this one, and she learned like a whole bunch of Japanese, meditation, all these different things to keep the body in tuned. Do you think where, just like you said, do you think it's other fighters in the division are just evolving to where, okay, we know what she is, but we're going to do this a little bit better, faster, stronger. Her time has come where she's on a downfall, Joey. I mean, we've
I
seen the
definitely think
bullet
it's
up
the
top for a
evolving,
while.
Paul. I definitely think it's the evolving because think about it. Until I believe 2011, women weren't even in the UFC.
Right,
You know,
exactly. We talked about that,
so
right?
women's MMA really wasn't a big thing before recently. So we're going to see the evolution happen right before our eyes, especially in the women's division, where
Mhm.
before you had this girl, like for example, take Carla Esperanza.
Okay, that's Praza. Mhm.
When she came into the UFC, she was a world class fighter. She still is a world class fighter,
Mhm.
but her wrestling was light years better than her striking. You know,
True.
you had a lot of these fighters who were one dimensional. One thing was a lot better than the other, and there wasn't many. Okay, this person's great at everything type of fighters.
Mhm.
We're finally seeing that division and the women's MMA divisions evolve to the point now where because these fighters have been doing it their whole life because women's MMA wasn't a thing for so long.
Mhm.
We have
Right.
these players now who have been training MMA their entire life, 7, 8, 9, 10 on where they
Mhm.
now are well versed in everything, where they're going to start surpassing these legends of the women's division who are just experts at one thing. And I'm not saying Valentina is an expert of one thing compared to another, but Valentina is a world class striker. And I think we're going to see these women's now where they're great at striking, they're great at wrestling, they're great at submissions. They're just great at everything because they've been doing it their entire life. And I think nothing beats experience.
And I think a perfect example, Joey, is Zelly Wang. How she fights. I mean, we know she has power. And my God, who was it? Usman. She lifted up off the ground like it was just a
No,
two
not
pound bag.
not Usman.
Who was that?
Um,
Brent Nagano.
Nagano.
Like dude's 285, man. And you can lift a girl that's 135 and just pick him up and walk around with you. Her strength is something to be reckoned with. And
But she's
I,
another one, Paul. She's incredible, and
yes.
she's a
Mhm.
great fighter. But I
Mhm.
even think eventually she'll be surpassed because I just think a lot of times she's a great fighter.
Okay.
Um,
All right, Bubba,
And
have fun, man. Appreciate you
yeah,
checking
thank
in,
you for
brother.
checking in with us. But she's a great fighter and she's got great striking and she's a well-versed fighter. But I think eventually you'll see these
Man,
fighters where she relies a lot on that power, where she
she
comes in
does.
there and she overpowers you and kind of imposes her will on you. But when you have these fighters coming up who are well versed in everything, at some point you're going to be surpassed just because.
Hmm.
And you're seeing it in not just women's MMA, but across the board, like the
Right.
155 division, not 155, 170. You saw it this weekend with the Boogeyman. He
Hmm.
is so good in everything,
Yes.
and that entire back end of that division has these young studs who in 2 years' times are going to be running that division, running that
Hmm.
division. Talk about
Yeah.
Bo Nichols. You talk about
Whoa.
the Boogeyman, Sean
Hmm.
Brady. These guys are going
Yeah.
to run that division eventually. And it's just
Agree.
because they've been doing it their whole life.
I
They're
agree with that.
they're not boxers who turn to MMA. They're not wrestler. I mean,
Hmm.
Bo Nichols is a wrestler turned MMA, but a lot of these guys are people who've been doing the sport of MMA their whole life. Where
Exactly.
in years past, that hasn't been something. You have a boxer who comes to MMA. You have a wrestler who comes to MMA. You have a BJJ guy who comes to MMA. These are people who've been training the sport of MMA their whole life now.
Exactly. I agree with that. Joe, let me ask you something real quick. Like I said earlier at the beginning of the show, I believe it was Joe Rogan or it was DC said something where wrestlers had the advantage, Joey. Okay, we know Bullet is a striker. We know what Grasso is, Joey, but when she took it to the mat, do you think it was just her only option that would actually just submit Bullet? Do you
Well, if you
think the
remember,
wrestler?
so I actually thought that the Grasso, like in the pure, just straight hand combat, I thought
Mhm.
the Grasso was actually piecing up Valentina, getting the better of her.
She was. She had
It
that lump on
only
her.
was
Right.
when Valentina involved the kicks and stuff like that, where Valentina
Hmm.
was winning the fight. But I think in a pure hand-to-hand striking, and it shocked me, but I said it leading up to this fight to everyone that would listen. I felt like DeGrasse maybe had the better pure boxing out of the
Hmm.
two. I thought she was a little better with the hands in that aspect. But if you listen to the post-fight interview, she actually said that she was training that. She felt like she
Wow.
saw that where a lot of times with
Okay.
those kicks and those combos, she left her back open. So she was training that transition to when she throws that kick, take the back and sink into submission. That was something that she's trained regularly in this training camp for. So
Well, I mean, that's doing your homework right there. If you're going to jump, you're going to wait for somebody to throw, and you're just going to jump over it and just, try to mount the back or take it to the ground.
yeah,
That's something that over. I guess you know what I give Grasso credit because the last two fights we've seen Shevchenko. I call it Bullet, but just
I
do a
just
lot
call
of
her
different things.
Valentina because I
Yeah,
don't want to butcher her name.
like do a lot of different things where she hasn't really shown her last two fights, Joey. So
Yeah.
whatever Grasso's seen, it worked out. But I tell you what, real quick before we move on to the main event, how long do you think there's going to be a rematch, Joey? We know that you're not going to give her not a rematch right away. It's going to happen, but Joey, what happens in a rematch if this happens quickly?
I think I mean it's hard to pick against Valentina.
That's what I
She's
mean.
dominant for so long.
Do you see this as a Usman Edwards thing, Joey? Where okay, you caught me, it happened, I lost, but it's not going to happen again. Do you think it's like sort of like that line?
I do.
I agree. I agree. I agree, 100%. I think if this happens, this rematch, I think we're going to see a different Bullet. I mean, something that we haven't seen in the last three fights, Joey. It's just going to come out and I'm going to piece you up, and it's going to be not a cakewalk, but it's going to be a bloodbath. I think
Yeah.
it will. Yep. But anything else you want to say about this fight, Joey? I mean, congrats to Alexa Grasso out there. You're the new champ. You did it. But I wish I had that image, Joey, because honestly, Joey, real quick, I didn't think that submission was that tight. I really didn't.
Until you saw that picture.
Joey, it's like for people that are watching out there, it's like you go to the beach. Okay, you don't have a hat on. You don't have any suntan lotion on your face. You're out there on the beach for 4 hours, but you lay there like this with your hand across your face for 4 hours. This is white. This is red. That's exactly what it looked like. It was so damn tight around her neck.
I
Like
think I
I
might
don't.
I think I might have found it. Let me see if I can get this
What did
image
you?
up.
All right. But yeah, Joey, I didn't even think it was that tight. But when I seen that, I'm like, you got to be kidding me. I'm surprised she even lasted. Because what was it, Joey? Like Didn't she tap out with like 10 seconds to go in the round? It was that close to the ending of the round because I was like, please get through this round. Please get through the round. You can recoup this. Get out of this round. Get out of this round. But I think it was like 10 seconds where she tapped out at the end of the round, Joey. It was so damn tight. But while you're looking for that, Joey, let's get it. You find it?
I can't get it downloaded for some reason. Trying to save it as a weird file, but
no
yeah, definitely look that up.
Yeah, but let's get into this, Joey. All right, return of Jon Jones. 3 years absence, Joey. A lot of people say it's unfair. He gets a shot, Joey. You know, open shot at the title here against the number one contender. Joey, a lot of people say it was unfair, but I want to hear your take, Joey, because I lost this. I took Kane. I took Kane in this fight. I really did. But, Joey, do you think Kane came in here? Because he was laughing in the beginning, Joey. Did you see him laughing? Like, Jon Jones was all business, Joey. He came in the ring. I don't want to touch your glove. Kane was actually laughing. Like, when he got touched up, he was just laughing a little bit. Do you think he took this lightly? Like, okay, 3 years out of the ring, I can beat this dude. He ain't in shape.
No, I don't think anyone takes Jon Jones lightly. But before we get into this fight, I just want to say one piece of thing. I'm not a Jon Jones hater. Well, I am a hater a little bit.
I knew you were going to bring this up, yes. Because I put something on Twitter, Joey, and we talked about this, I think.
I'm actually a big Jon Jones hater.
Say it, Joey. Just say it, brother.
Yeah, I hate that dude. I really don't like the dude. I don't respect him actually at anything, but I was just say respect him as a fighter, but I don't actually respect him as a fighter.
Exactly.
I have a hard time with putting someone in the GOAT conversation. Now here's the thing: if you take away the PEDs, you take away the hit and runs, you take away the coke. Okay, he's the GOAT.
Yes.
There's a lot to take away to get to that point. You know, and me personally thinking, if I always thought, I don't know how you think about this, if you got caught once doing it, you were doing it the whole time. It's just you got caught the one time.
Agreed.
You know, I don't think PED is something you do just one time and that's it. I think you're a repeat user who just so happened to get caught that time. You know, I think you messed up your cycle and you got caught that time, and that's what happened. I just think with baseball, you know, so often not. Barry Bonds is the greatest baseball player of all times, but we don't put him in the GOAT category because he got tested positive for steroids. How can you willingly put Jon Jones in the GOAT category when he willingly tested positive for steroids?
All right, Joey, real quick. He's just going to turn his mic on real quick. Ken Price says his brother Chandler Jones can suck it also. I agree with that. Wasn't he a Raven, Joey? Chandler Jones? Didn't he play for the Ravens, if I'm not mistaken?
No, he played for the Cardinals alongside J.J. Watt, him and J.J. Watt.
Wait, he played somewhere else, though, too. I thought he played somewhere else as well. I thought he did. I don't know why. Ravens pop up on mine, but Joey, I agree with you.
He was a Raider.
Raider? Okay, I thought it was the Ravens, though. For some reason, I thought it was the Flock.
He started off on the Patriots, then he went to the Cardinals, and right now he's a Raider, and that's why Ken said he can suck it, because he did shit this year for them.
I don't know why I'm thinking. Maybe it was the Raiders. I
think it was his other brother.
It might have been, wasn't it?
His brother.
There we go. Yes.
His other brother was an interior line. I think it was
okay.
I forget his other brother's name, but yeah, he was like an interior lineman.
I remember. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
What's your before we get into this fight, Paul? What's your take on that? If you test like coke is one thing, okay, it's not really a performance enhancing drug. If it was only coke, I would say okay, he's the GOAT still. But when you test positive for PEDs that directly tampers with your performance, I think that should exclude you from being in the GOAT category.
I agree with you. I mean, I did put this on Twitter, Joey, and you were the first one to challenge me on it, saying right away, he's not the GOAT. And I understand when I went back and I thought about it as well. Yes, I agree. Put everything aside, Joey, the coke, the hit and run, the PEDs. Yes, you have to put him in that category. But with winning the fight with his record, the way he, just like you said, where he took it, if you did it once, you're going to do it. You just got caught. Very simple. You got caught in your hands in the cookie jar. Very simple. But there's always going to be an asterisk next to his name, Joey, no matter what. There's going to be that asterisk. But time will tell, and I don't know if I can ever I honestly don't call him the GOAT. I don't. I just put that on Twitter just to see what people would say because somebody actually, I retweeted it, kept it, and I put it on our Twitter account.
Yeah.
But my thing was, let me ask you, I already said how I feel, but let me ask you a flip question here, Joey. Let's say he runs the division for the next 2 years, hands down, nobody can touch him, clean as a whistle, Joey. Where do you put him then?
I just still think because that positive.
Ken says, I thought Dana said it was a suspicious positive test.
There were some questions about it, but it still
Mm-hmm.
happened. You were still banned.
But let's say three. Let's go. Well, that's I go 3 years. So let's go 2 years because you have 3 years in the UFC being untouched is kind, really a remarkable thing. But let's say 2 years, Joey. He keeps the title for 2 years. He runs through it, and let's say if he fights Stipe next, he hands down beats Stipe, positive, a negative piss test, whatever you want to call it. Where do you put him in a year, Joey? Untouched.
Ugh, I don't know. I just don't like the dude. I'm never putting him in my GOAT category.
How do you feel about McGregor then? Is there an asterisk?
For what?
How can he get that big, Joey, in 6 months?
But is he failed a test?
I'm not saying he failed the test, but my man was on some juice, Joey.
Well, until he fails a test, he can't. I mean, we're just saying hearsay. Jones legitimately failed a test.
Okay. All right. Okay.
But I don't think McGregor is even in the top 5 of GOAT.
No, he's not. But he doesn't he? I agree with that 100%. I agree. Let me real quick. Who's your GOAT? Top 3.
It's hard because I was gonna say Silva, but he's popped.
Yeah.
I have St. Pierre 1.
Ooh, wow. Okay. Ooh, GCP. GCP, huh? Wow.
We're gonna go Jose Aldo too, because there was a run there where he was
Okay.
yeah.
You got
Ken corrected you because you said GCP.
Because I don't have him in my top 2.
And I'm gonna go Fedor 3.
You don't have my boy Khabib in there?
I think he did it long enough. That's my only knock on him. If you look at the actual time when he got the amount of fights he's had at the top echelon of fighters in the UFC.
Okay.
I mean 19 is impressive, but I only think 5 of them maybe is the top tier of the UFC. I don't think he off the top of the top. Like you look at Jose Aldo for example, he was champion for I think 5 years before McGregor beat. You look at GSP, he was untouchable for a little while there.
So you're okay. If
Fedor,
if Khabib fought better fighters throughout his career, he would be in the GOAT category.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I'm going to flip this to you real quick. I'm going to flip it real quick, Joey. 5 years from now, Joey, is there any fighter from what we've seen since your top 3 can surpass GOAT category?
Kamaru Usman.
Really?
Yeah, if he beats, I don't see anyone beating him. It took a lucky kick to beat, but I think when all said and done, I think Kamaru Usman could be the GOAT.
Volkanovski?
I don't know.
I don't want to put too much. I'm not going to put too much into that Islam fight, Joey, because that was a different class. Okay, that was pound per pound. But I'm talking his category. That's why I mentioned
if we're taking PEDs out of it, you got to put Anderson Silva 1.
Okay.
But that's if we're not including steroids, because Anderson Silva popped for steroids. If we're saying it's for best regardless of who it is,
but we have to take PEDs out of the question here, Joey. If we're taking Jon Jones,
we're just saying both. We're just saying best ever, regardless of PEDs, regardless of anything. GSP's 1, Anderson Silva's 2, Jon Jones right now is 3.
Okay. I was waiting for you to say that.
Johnson's 4.
Okay.
Demetrius Johnson's 4.
So, do you think Islam, Volkanovski, or Boogeyman will ever be in somewhat of that category, Joey? The way they're putting on a run right now.
I think Volk will. I think Volk will. Another fighter that could, if he stays back and he stays with it, Kahuta. Um,
Yeah,
if he
yeah,
stays with it, I don't know if he's gonna if this is like a one off for him or if
you're
he's
right.
gonna stay with it. But Cejudo could be
What about
considered
Randy
up there.
Couture?
He's up there in the top 10 just for the simple fact that he was the first two division
A pioneer of two
champion.
divisions. Yeah.
So I mean, but he was at a different time. It was just his wrestling was so
Mhm.
superior to everyone that he could kind of just impose his will. And you always got to
Agree.
give him credit when he shuts up Andrew Toney.
Yeah, 100%. Joey, real quick. I mean, what was your take on Jon Jones, Joey? I mean, is he back for real? I mean, is this Jon Jones back?
So it's hard to tell. I definitely think anytime you add that much weight, it slows you down.
Okay,
I felt
agree.
like a couple strikes we did see him throw. They looked a little elongated, a little
Yes.
slower than the normal Jon Jones we're seeing. And I don't
Hmm.
know if that's because ring rust, it's first time back in the ring in that many years. I don't know what it was. Um, Jones did say he felt like he came in a little too
Heavy.
heavy. He
Hmm.
said he wants to try to come back maybe 230, 235 ish,
And that's what
which
even DC said when DC said when he fought him at that weight, at that was like it's like you said, that was his best weight. And even DC said he looks a little heavy. He looks a little unbalanced, is what he said.
yeah. So here's the thing, like rehydration is a real thing.
Hmm.
Um, Jones weighed in at 205, but come fight night, he was probably 225, 230. So
Like 30 to 20 pounds. Yeah.
If Jones could come in weighing in at 225, 230, I think we would see the Jones of old.
Yeah.
Um, but Miyoshi,
Let's talk about
maybe
it. Let's talk about it.
we're talking about maybe right now the greatest UFC heavyweight fighter ever,
Hmm.
and he's not gone. Gane's great standing.
Hmm.
He doesn't offer much of else. He's not great at stopping the takedown. He's not great at stopping the submissions.
Hmm.
Um, I'm not saying Stipe is great at any of that, but he's very good at all of it. It's going to be a very interesting fight because this is going to be the only true test for Jones left. We heard from Dana that Ngannou is done. There's no chance of him coming back.
I want to
That
ask you about that. I want to ask you about that because everybody says, Nagano could be considered, possibly later if he ever came back
yeah.
to
Nope.
continue the GOAT. You don't think there's ever like, okay, Jon Jones is considered a GOAT now. There's only one person that can shut him up, and it's me. Pay
Nope.
me the money. This is what people want to see. You don't think
Nope.
it's going to happen. You don't think it's going to
Dana
happen.
so Dana White's a motherfucker.
I know. I agree.
Let's not get that twisted. Dana White has come out and said flat out, we're not negotiating anymore. It's done. He's done. That's it. Um, Dana White is not one, and this is unfortunate, but he's not one to ever eat crow. When he
True.
says something, the only time I've ever seen him eat crow was Kimbo.
Kimbo Slice. Yeah.
That's the only time I've ever seen him eat crow. I don't think he will ever eat crow on this. Um, the
Hmm.
only way I could see it happening is if Ngannou came crawling back to the UFC,
Can't see
which
that.
which I could see because how long has he been cut from the UFC and he's still not have anything announced yet? I think he's having a hard time finding an opponent right now.
Joey, just like we talked about, I don't know what show it was on, Joey. I think he's going to fight Tyson Fury in an exhibition match and make millions and millions and trillions of dollars versus his whole career in the UFC, Joey.
But wouldn't that fight have already been announced, Paul?
Well, I think it's going to
Been
happen, Joey.
done.
Because
Been
Joey, you
done.
think about it. Everybody's going to this Mayweather, Paul crap, Joey. You make
Yeah, but
more
here,
money on
what I'm
that.
saying is, it should have been announced by now.
It should have been right. You're 100% about that. Yeah.
I'm not as confident as I was when it first happened that this fight ever happens.
I don't think it ever happens because we don't even know what Tyson Fury does. Tyson Fury is about right now. He's going to quit. He's going to be back. We don't even know. We don't even know, Joey. Boxing is something that
Speaking of
you don't know.
boxing, did you see that the fight now might not happen? Um, Davis and Garcia.
No, but it's supposed to be April 22nd, Joey.
That's not happening.
What happened now?
So I believe the person that Davis fought last
Hmm.
had an automatic rematch clause,
Oh my God.
and that has to be sufficed first before Davis can move on to the next opponent.
But okay, Joey, I'm not going to call anybody in the boxing, WBC. This is Daizan. Garcia's Daizan, of course, but I'm not going to call anybody stupid or anything out there. That's not our job to do. But Joey, if you and I fight prior and you win, doesn't the promoters and the whole contract negotiation
Oh
thing
wait,
know that
they
I
got
have a rematch?
10 hours ago, Paul. They
It
were
goes
able to
back
get
on,
past. They were able to get past the automatic rematch clause.
so
We
it is
have
going
an
to happen April
arena
22nd.
April 22nd at T-Mobile Arena.
Okay, okay, okay. So let's talk about real quick. Let's talk about this fight, Joey. Let's talk about it. Tank Garcia. Where are you going? Where are you going?
Tank.
You're going Tank.
Yeah, I'm going Tank.
You know what? You know what? I'm man. We're going.
I don't think it's
Man, I
really a
can't
close
believe this.
fight either.
I think Garcia wins this, Joey.
Really?
I do. I do. The way I've seen Garcia fight his last two matches, I mean, he's a different character, Joey. I mean, Tank actually dances, he plays with you, he toys with you, and what he reminds me of a great fighter, which we know,
So
Trayshawn Wiggins, of course.
so
But he said
tomorrow,
he
Paul.
analyzes you. He analyzes you.
Who's that? Garcia?
Yeah, no, Tank Davis. He analyzes you the first two rounds. He
Yeah.
plays with you, he toys you, then he takes you apart. Garcia is a little different breed. He comes out and tries to get to you fast. And I think the first two rounds are going to tell me a lot of how Garcia plays them. I really think Garcia has enough in his tank to win this fight. I
But
really
I
do.
just don't know if anyone in that division can withstand Tank's power. I mean, that dude has
That's the
legitimate.
thing. His power behind that, the power behind him is insane. If he touches Garcia's chin, it might be a different story. But that's why I think Garcia is going to come out fast because Tank does not come out fast, Joey. He plays around.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
But
mean,
tomorrow is actually a press conference at
oh, is it okay?
MSG,
All right, I gotta check that out. What time's the press conference? Does it say
12:30.
12:30? Okay, Eastern, right? No, it's in Vegas, right?
No, it's in New York.
Okay, MSG, so 12. Okay, I'll check it out definitely. But real quick, Joey, before we get out of here, I want to mention May 13th here in the beautiful city of Johnstown. We have Trayshawn Wiggins actually going to be doing an exhibition fight at the War Memorial Summit Arena here in Johnstown. It's going to be a fight here. We have a huge card with Castle Boxing. I think there's going to be 6 fights total. And I'm going to have someone on the show in about 2 weeks, Joey. I'm not even going to say his name yet. We're going to put it out there. We're going to talk about this guy. He is making his debut as a pro fighter. Great guy. Trains with Trayshawn. His dad is actually one of his coaches, and his dad was actually a champion in the WBC.
Hmm.
So we're going to have him on, and he fights right out of Johnstown here. Great guy. I'll send you everything about him, Joey, but we'll have him on in maybe about 3 or 4 weeks here. Still working on that. He's training right now. But May 13th here at the War Memorial Arena, Trayshawn Wiggins. It's actually going to be called Fight Night is what it's called. Fight Night in Johnstown. It's going to be May 13th. I'm actually going to be there ringside, and hell, who knows? He might even be alive. Who even knows?
Hmm.
So stay tuned out there. But it's going to be an exhibition fight. Great time, great charity for Castle Boxing. And we all know about Castle Boxing. They give back to the community. Brock Cole does a lot for the foundation around in Johnstown to the kids, adults, everybody, keeping the kids off the street, which
Yeah.
we're part of, and we love when someone does that. So we're behind them 100%.
Yeah.
But Joey, before we get out of here, man, is there anything else that you want to talk about?
Not that I can think of, Paul.
Nothing else? All right, man. Listen, it was a good thing out there. Guys, real quick, I know this isn't really concerning anything that we talk about, but real quick, guys, if you're ever out there and you feel the need to go to the ER, please go to the ER. Don't be an ass like me, a stubborn piece of shit that didn't want to go to the ER because the doctor told me if I didn't go to the ER, probably within 24 hours, I would have been dead. I probably died in my sleep with toxins throughout my body. So if you're out there, man, listen, that's why I give credit to Chelsea and Katie, my loved ones here. They made me go to the hospital, and thank God I did because I would have been 6 feet under. So, but I just want to say thank you to the Out of Box people out there, all of our viewers, our family out there. Thank you for checking in on me. Greatly appreciate it, because I had to get back here and do the Fight Club with Joey, one of my favorite shows here on Out of the Box. So, Joey, but real quick, man, Joey, once again, I know Disney, you just went down there. Talk about Disney for a couple minutes here. Let them know where we can find you, how to get this trip, booked, Joey. Because, like I said, I'll be getting in touch with you because it's on the down low. We need to get a Disney trip. So, real quick, Joey, I got your phone number up there. Talk about it, Joey.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Um, yeah, I mean, like I said earlier, Disney World, land, cruise, destinations, Hawaii, anything you may need, reach
Hawaii.
out to me. I can help you get a trip booked. Doesn't cost you anything more to use me. Disney pays me, so you're not paying anything extra. And I can do everything, from tickets to rooms to meals. Uh, Takes all the stress and planning out of it, where you can just go and have a great trip. Something comes arise during your trip, you can shoot me a text. I'm always there. But it's just, why not use my service if it's free, especially first time goers. It can be very overwhelming,
Mhm.
all the planning that's involved with going. So why not reach out to me? Hey, I'm thinking about going this date. Can you help me get the best price possible? I know a lot of these other travel agents, they like to, and Disney taught us a little bit too, upsell. You always want to
Yeah.
upsell your people, to get the most. But that's not me. I want to, and I especially know for my family, growing up, we always wanted to try to go to Disney the lowest price possible, so you had more money to spend while you were there. Why spend all this money for a hotel you're just going to sleep in? So I'm not there to upsell you. I'm there to get you to Disney for the cheapest price possible. So if you're looking to go to Disney, shoot me a text. Find me on Facebook. I can help you get to Disney. That's my Facebook name, also Joseph Wood, Mr. M's House of Travel. If you search that, find me on Facebook. But I'm not here to upsell you. I'm here to get you Disney for the best price possible.
There
So
you
even
go.
if you want just a quote, it's free to get a quote. I can give you some quotes, see if it works in your budget. If it doesn't work in your budget, we can definitely try to find something that fits in your budget.
There you go. So give him a call, 215-820-3644. Call him at 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm pretty sure he'll pick up the phone. If not, he'll call you back tomorrow morning. But Joey, real quick, just like you said, the Wood way was the budget way. I
Yes.
grew up loving that. We all grew up that way, Joey, especially being around your family. It was that cost $5, that cost $2. We're going there. We're going to the $2 one. That's where we're
Yeah.
going. And we had the best time of our lives doing it, Joey. You know. But Joey, real quick, I want to ask you something. A lot of people out there with this trip, Joey, we can get a good trip with you with Disney here, tickets, lodging, food wise. But Joey, what's the best way? Because a lot of people look at it. I have a lot of friends saying, yeah, I can get a good trip down Disney, but man, the airfare is quite expensive now. What's the best way to get down there, Joey? What airlines? What would you say?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not that crazy. I mean, my whole family just went. We left on a Saturday, which is usually a pretty expensive
Hmm.
flight, and then coming on
Right.
Wednesday with bags and everything for 5 people. I think it cost us like $400.
That's not bad. That's not bad.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Now, I think it's a little bit different when you fly out of Philadelphia, right? Or different airports, correct?
I mean, some of the smaller airports probably will cost a little bit more just because they don't
Okay.
have as many flights accessible. But for the most part, if you're on like the Hopper app, for example, it's called. If
Okay.
you're on that Hopper app, they'll send you notifications that when it goes up and when it goes down. Typically, right now, like Frontier, Spirit, stuff like that, you should be able to find round trip for around $100, $150 total.
Wow. Okay. Okay. Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, and another little trick that I learned was Wednesday mornings for some
Mhm.
reason seem to be the best time to book airfare. For some reason, that's when prices are lowest.
Wednesday morning. All right, there you go. So Mr. M's House of Travel right there. You already heard it first. Spirit, Frontier, Wednesday morning. Get on the Hopper app, check the prices, get the notify button because they will send you some things. And then when you get your flight information, where you want to go, then you give Joey a call and you book your damn trip because if you have kids, the best time of your lives. So if you don't believe
Yeah,
me,
like
check
I had
Joey's
a
Facebook out there. His pictures on Facebook with his family down there. Little Joey and Paisley's face. My God, time of your lives. And that you want your kids to
yeah,
experience that. So
like
get
real
out
quick
there.
before we end the show, I had someone that just booked with me last week. They were sure the around about time, but they had to see with school and stuff when and for flights 'cause they wanted to go like the cheapest flight possible. So what they actually did was they kept an eye on flights, and when flights got to be the price they wanted, they booked their
Mm,
flights first.
right,
They said,
right.
"Okay, our flights are from this date to this date. Book me a trip that falls in line with these dates." So they booked the
Okay.
flights first. once the flights fell in line with what they were comfortable with paying, and then they booked a Disney trip after because Disney rooms will be there. The rooms will be there. Rarely does it, unless it's like Christmas, President's Day, New Year's, Thanksgiving, 4th of July. Unless it's one of those major holidays, 9 out of 10 Disney hotels will not sell out. So you do the airfare first, and then the hotel. That might be a cheaper way too. That way you can kind of you're not confined it to two set dates, and
Okay.
then airfare is sky high that day for some reason.
Yeah, see, that's my dilemma, Joey. Like I said, I want to get down there. Kate and I are looking for something. I want to do a cruise, but I'm kind of concerned with cruises. Me and cruises don't do well, number one. But I was actually thinking about Christmas time down there. Um, what do you think
Good
about
luck.
that? Yeah, that's what I mean.
Good luck.
Yeah, me and my ex-wife
So
used to go down on Christmas, and it was crazy. Because our anniversary was January 1st.
yeah. So I mean, you just have to have patience for Christmas, and we can talk about this off the
Okay,
camera.
sounds good.
Yeah, let's end it and then we'll talk about it.
All right, so guys, listen, we'll be back. Joey, we're going to do this next week again?
Yeah, for sure.
All right, so hey, listen, man, make sure you're out there. Make sure you hit that follow button. Make sure you're hitting that follow button out there. YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. We're there. We're all out there. My name is Paul Spencer. Of course, I got the hitman, Joey Woods, here. You're tuned in to Fight Club 215 every Tuesday, 10 p.m. Guys, thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next week. Have a great night, and be safe.